The Kaslo District Community Forest was one of 15 community forests across the province to receive funding for wildfire risk reduction projects as part of a collaborative effort between BC Wildfire Service and the BC Community Forest Association. The program, which was implemented in 2021 through the Economic Recovery Initiative, was a great success. The funding was able to support 45 wildfire risk reduction projects in community forest tenures across BC and resulted in the treatment of over 1,300 hectares, of which over 140 hectares were treated through prescribed burning.
Yeah, so this project happened within Kaslo's Louis on the kind of southwestern flanks of Mount Buchanan, which is a large mountain behind Kaslo. It also is in the Kaslo Interpretive Forest recreation area around the Bucky cabin, which is used by cross-country skiers. Yeah, so the project was about 20 hectares around this area, thinning out a juvenile plantation. We've worked closely with BC Wildfire Service over the years since I've been a manager, planning out wildfire risk reduction projects, developing a landscape level wildfire protection plan, and developing maps and KMZ files to share with them in case of a wildfire. So it's been a very proactive approach working alongside them.
Within the wildfire-urban interface, it's really important that the wildfire risk reduction work is completed because that's your line of defense adjacent to a community. So if you think about the fire smart concepts of like everybody does their work in their backyard, outside of their backyard is the wildfire-urban interface, and it's really important that that work is done within that area to ensure that, you know, the threat of wildfire is mitigated.
The work that the community forest does in the wildland-urban interface within 1 kilometer of our community in managing the forest fuels and reducing wildfire risk really builds upon the objectives that we have for managing fuel within the community and at the home level. And so having the community forest carry out this work and being able to work in partnership and collaboration with the community forest really just increases the amount of work we can accomplish towards building a community that's resilient to wildfire.
We developed a fuel management prescription for this plantation, which involved thinning out the lodgepole pine, which is infected by gall rust. So once the fuel management prescription was developed, we hired a contractor to manually treat the area. So this involved cutting down most of the pine trees that were infected with gall rust and piling them and burning them on site. Yeah, this project benefits our organization and the community by increasing our wildfire resiliency again and local employment. Kaslo is a fairly small town and it can lack employment opportunities, so providing as much employment as we can through these opportunities is a great source of revenue for the community and local contractors.
We had approximately 9-10 employees off of this project here. That was a spin-off from other projects as well, so it kept people working and happily employed.
This area on Mount Buchanan is valuable to our community in cross-country skiing and recreation. There's also extensive mountain bike trails that contribute to well-being and recreation in the community. Having areas that have had these fuel treatments provide areas that are conducive to lower intensity fire. So from a response and access perspective, having the road infrastructure and the trails coupled with these areas that have less fuel and will therefore likely be less volatile places are really important for response agencies and actioning fire that are near our community.
This whole area is quite interesting because it suddenly has become much more accessible. It used to be a real access zone in the winter only because the trails were track set, but now with the new Friendly Giant Trail, with all these side trails, this is becoming a much more active area, and I know the community forest has been helpful in terms of getting it better accessible, ensuring that both the car drop-offs in the summertime for bicyclists and also ensuring that there's access for all kinds of different vehicles, and that's been helpful. This area has seen a lot more use in the last couple of years because of the added trails, and Community Forest has worked well with us as we've planned those routes.
I work for over 50 community forests, over 100 communities, and the work that Kaslo is doing and the priority that they're putting on the risk reduction and the planning and the coordination and the collaboration with BC Wildfire Service is very impressive, and I couldn't be more proud.